right now finding somewhere to live is pretty hard, or I guess that's an understatement, isn't it? I mean, even if you have a perfect rental history, there's not enough places available to rent compared to the number of people who are looking, and that's in the open market. If you're looking and hoping for social housing to put a roof over your head, it's even more dire. The waiting list for social housing is over 50,000. Clearly, the government's overwhelmed and needs help from the charities and the private sector. And today, the Salvation Army is officially opening its brand new affordable housing complex at Chermside. Simon Gregory is from the Salvos. Good morning.
Kate, how are you going?
Really well, but I imagine you're pretty excited today. Tell me what's happening.
Yeah, we're all very excited this morning. This has been a project that's been 5 years in the making, and to see this brand new affordable housing complex open at Chermside has been a dream for, as I said, a very long time. So we've got a number of our dignitaries and our donors who helped make this happen today, ready for the official opening, and we're very excited about that.
Could you describe the complex for us?
It's basically, it's a site that used to be the home to a motel that the Salvation Army took on back in the 80s as a women's refuge, and then that building was condemned a number of years ago, and it was eventually pulled down about 5 years ago. And then the dream was to build something that was fit for purpose and modern. And so this new building is 26 units, 2 and 3 bedroom units that'll become the home for lots of families around Brisbane. It's very modern. People already this morning just coming in and having a look, can't believe the quality of the building. Lots of security features to ensure that if we've got women and children here who are escaping violence, that we've got some extra safety measures as well. So it's a remarkable building, and really it wouldn't have happened without the support of both the Corey Charitable Foundation and also the Lord Mayor's Charitable Trust. Both of those organisations put in the majority of the money to make this happen.
And so what's the structure to make sure that the housing remains affordable?
Yeah, absolutely. So when someone is assessed to come through into the complex, that's done through our housing arm, which is called Salvos Housing. They basically take on a lease and become a tenant of ours. And they pay a rent that's proportionate to their income. So the rents are obviously different to market rent. On average, people are paying less than half of what they would usually out in the market. And we'll be assisting those people to firstly get in here, and then to work towards being able to move eventually out into the general rental market. So, but it is permanent housing. So people will be here for, they may be here for many years because their situation means that they need to.
And so this is not drawing from the government's waiting list of 50,000. This is a separately managed list of people that you're allowing to move in?
I would imagine that people would be on both lists, to be honest with you. People register through, we get a lot of people obviously through our homeless service who are putting their name down to enter housing, whether that's this site or other community housing, and I would imagine that a lot of those people are also on the government lists. We work together with those, with the department, to ensure that we do what we can to reduce that list. But I would say that a number of those people who'll be starting to move in the coming weeks will be coming off that list, which is fantastic.
And it will be such a relief, because it is so hard out there at the moment for those 26 individuals or families who have the chance to move in. From your perspective in the sector, is this the answer to solving the housing question or the housing problem for all of those 50,000 people, or are there other solutions that we need to consider?
Yeah, look, I think that the Salvation Army acknowledges that there's only so much that we can do, and really any organisation that works in this space, there's only so much we can do. It's really a government issue that needs to be solved in relation to housing prices and other market forces. But, what we've decided to do, the Salvation Army's moved to a housing first approach, which basically means we want to try and get people into permanent housing as quickly as possible. We're moving away from sort of that crisis accommodation and that short-term accommodation and moving into the longer term. So we've already got plans for another similar site up in Toowoomba that we'll hopefully start building soon, and we're investigating other opportunities with funds that we've got to do other things in other areas. So it's definitely, this is the first of what will be hopefully many similar complexes around the state.
And does it, have you got it structured so that it pays for itself in any way? Like, is it a matter of donations to get the building up and then the maintenance will be paid through by the contributions of the tenants, or will it need to be continually subsidised by the Salvos?
No, the plan is that it's basically self-funding. Salvo's housing in itself, as a part of our organisation, is a self-funding part of our organisation. So, we obviously are trying to reduce impacts for people as much as possible, but also make sure that the program operates effectively and continues. So, while we were relying on funds to build the building, if all things go to plan over the coming years, it should be self-sustaining, which is great.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. I think we've got to let you go so you can cut a ribbon or something.
Something like that. We need to, yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kate. Thank you.
Simon Gregory is from the Salvation Army, and you've been hearing about that brand new affordable housing complex at Chermside. 26 units involved in that. And yeah, it's not the whole answer for the 50,000 long waiting list for social housing, but for those 26 individuals and families, it's got to be a pretty good day.